there are a couple places in the Bible where we see worship services break out in the weirdest places, such as on the battlefields. 1 Chronicles 20 records a time where God instructs Israel not to fight, but just to sing praises to him. And guess what happens? The enemy turned on themselves, and Israel won that battle. And in the New Testament book of Acts, we see Paul and Silas get arrested for bogus charges. Yet, instead of defending themselves or creating a scene, we see them worship God by praying and singing hymns in the middle of the night. And all the other prisoners took notice. And as they were singing, an earthquake shook the jail. And no, I don't think Paul and Silas were singing an Elvis Presley song. And this is where the story gets really interesting, because the prison guard wakes up, sees all the doors open to the cells, and goes to kill himself because he thought he was in a lot of trouble. But before he could, he hears a voice cry out, "Don't harm yourself, we're all here." And he goes to see every prisoner, guilty or not guilty, a true criminal or not, were all in their cells. And the jailer's response was priceless. It says he trembled with fear, fell down at the feet of Paul and Silas, and asked, "What must I do to be saved?" Now this might be a bigger deal than you even realize, because God didn't send the earthquake to save Paul and Silas, his mighty warriors. No, he sent the earthquake to save a sinner, a jail guard, just one single man. And this perfectly illustrates Jesus' parable in Luke 15 about the lost sheep. Luke 15 verses 4 through 7. "What man among you, if he had 100 sheep and had lost one of them, does not leave the 99 in the open pasture and go after the one which is lost until he finds it? When he has found it, he lays it on his shoulders, rejoicing. And when he comes home, he calls all together his friends and his neighbors, saying to them, 'Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost.' I tell you, in the same way, there will be more rejoicing in heaven over one lost sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons who need no repentance." This passage demonstrates that one lost sheep, like the jailer, means everything to Jesus. And yes, that includes shaking open the doors of a jail, only to have all the prisoners stay put to prove a point. And you can imagine that Paul and Silas had even more to worship God about now. Now, I share this story not just to highlight how important one person is to God, but how important worship is to him. And when we stop and worship him, mountains move, jails shake, faith gets stirred, and people come to know the Lord. And there's no doubt in my mind that worship service strengthened the faith of Paul and Silas that night as well, because they witnessed a miracle. They witnessed a big God doing big things for little old people. So the moral of the story is, even in the battles of life, even when we feel bound and confined, God hears our worship. I would like to thank KIKO Radio for airing this Word of Hope by Central Heights Baptist Church, where we strive to honor Jesus and be like your grandma's traditional church.